Hello everyone! Taylor here, and today I'm going to be giving you all my spoiler review of Justice League. I was a little bit late seeing the movie. I saw it on Sunday and it came out on Thursday technically, but I did see it before the weekend was over and I have a lot of thoughts on this movie. So if you haven't seen the movie and you would like to avoid spoilers, go ahead and save this, come back later after you've seen the movie. If you don't care about spoilers, I guess you can keep watching, but I'd prefer if you went and saw it before hearing anything about it. Anyway, let's get into this. So, first I want to start off with the things that I enjoyed about the movie. So, I really enjoyed the chemistry of all of the members of the League together. I thought that it was very organic, the way that it happened. For example, the conversations that Diana and Cyborg were having when it was kind of like a tennis match where he wanted to see her in person but didn't really want to talk to them in person yet, and then she was like coaxing him into meeting up with her, and they were both discussing their issues with wanting to open up and things like that, which I thought was really great, especially because it addressed kind of the flaw, I guess, that has been pointed out with the way Wonder Woman was portrayed, where she just kind of hid for a really long time and didn't really do much. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the developing chemistry between Bruce Wayne and Diana, especially the conversation they have where she's calling him out. She's like, this is immoral. I don't agree with this decision, with the decisions you're making. And she socks him one. She punches him. And I really, really enjoyed that, especially just the whole atmosphere of that scene where everyone's kind of chiming in, trying to figure out the best way to save the world, basically, without Superman, and how they can bring him back. I really liked that we had Superman in this movie and that he was just kicking everybody's butt. As soon as he shows up, no problems. Like, there's no one that can match up to Superman, at least that we've seen to this point. So just the fact that we got to see a Superman that smiles and a Superman that's there just kicking everyone's butt, I loved that. I was so excited when they snuck in the little part with the lantern. You see Green Lantern fighting in the battle, and you see his ring fly off to go find a new person, which has me so excited because I'm really hoping that means we're going to get a Green Lantern movie sometime soon, or that he's at least gonna show up in a Justice League movie or something. Like, I want a Green Lantern done well so bad. So bad. So that was a really, really cool little thing for them to slide in there that I'm really stoked about. I don't know, I really kind of liked having Lois in this movie, but I feel like she could have been utilized better. I liked that she's the one that brought Clark Kent back, kind of snapped him out of what he was doing, but at the same time, I don't know, I kind of wish we would have had to deal with the fallout of Clark being brought back to life for a little bit longer, like when he said to Batman, "Do you bleed?" I'm pretty sure that's the line. Dang, guys, like, that was some intense stuff when he was just out of control and was just wrecking everyone in the Justice League. So I liked that. That was probably one of the best fight scenes in the whole movie. And I don't know, Amy Adams, for me, I love her as an actress, but she doesn't sit right with me as Lois Lane for some reason. It just doesn't sit well the way that I would like it to, but she's a great actress and I'm not going to hate on her because there are far worse things, I think, about previous movies and this movie. Like, guys, it's just, I don't know. I really enjoyed Aquaman. I thought his portrayal was great. I think there's a lot of different things they can do with this form of Aquaman. I think there's a lot of potential for them to do quite a bit with Aquaman and his storyline, just with the little bit that they gave us in this movie. Just getting to see a little glimpse of what his world looks like and the way that they talk to each other when they're underwater and things of that nature has me so freaking pumped for the Aquaman movie. As if I wasn't already excited, this movie made me so much more excited to see Aquaman and to get to meet him and kind of hear what his story is. I also really enjoyed The Flash, surprisingly. I love the TV show so much that it was so hard for me to see someone else playing the Flash. But I think for the most part it worked. Having him be us, pretty much. Having him be the audience in the universe worked really well. His reactions were the reactions most people would have if they were surrounded by the Justice League. Just that excitement and not really knowing what he's doing and just kind of being frazzled. That was great. I think most of the humor of his landed. Some of it fell a little flat and was kind of awkward, and sometimes the awkwardness, the purposeful awkwardness, didn't quite work the way I think they wanted it to, but for the most part, I thought it worked really well. Cyborg was great. I really, really, really want to see more of his story. I really do. I'd love to see where he came from and how he got to where he is now and kind of coping with what he's got going on. We saw a little bit of that in the movie, which was fantastic. But I definitely want to see more of his story. I also really enjoyed the way that Diana is kind of gearing up, it seems, to be the head of this whole thing, which I would absolutely love. I really, really hope that actually happens, because we see her a lot, like I said, questioning the morality of decisions of the group and talking about her fear of leadership and convincing people that something is worth dying for because she says it is. And that can be pretty terrifying, but we kind of see her trying to come into her own there and step up to that leadership role, which I really, really hope that we get to see, hopefully in the next Justice League movie. That would be awesome. There was really a lot to like in this movie. There really, really was, and I feel like it was a tremendous step in the right direction. It didn't quite hit and stick the landing completely, but it was so much better than BVS for me personally. I know there are a lot of people who enjoyed Batman vs Superman, and that's great. I'm so glad that there are people that liked it, but I was not a fan. I saw it twice in the theaters. I gave it 2 chances, and the second time was like the longest, 2.5 hours of my life. So, to get this movie that I had so much fun with and would absolutely watch again makes me so, so happy. Now, the problems that I did have with it weren't enough to overshadow how much I enjoyed the movie. So, the beginning of the movie was a little bit jarring for me. Probably the first half an hour or so, I wasn't really hooked. It felt like we were jumping around too much and nothing was really connected organically the way it should have been. It was kind of like we were watching separate movies for the first half hour with trying to get all the characters introduced and everything. So that was a little bit jarring for me. I also feel like parts of it were kind of just shoved together. There wasn't a lot of breathing room for most of the scenes. There wasn't really a lot of flow. It was more just kind of choppy and shoved in there, which wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. There were times where I really would have liked to just kind of live with the scenes for a little bit longer, but it really wasn't enough to completely take me out of the movie and take away from what I did like about it. Another problem that I had that kind of did take me out of the movie at times was the CGI. And I can excuse most of it, but Steppenwolf, holy moly, like, that was just so distracting to me. I feel like if they would have just had an actor and then maybe did motion capture or special effects makeup or something, it just would have fit so much better into the story. I know that we're dealing with gods and Amazons and all this crazy otherworldly type stuff, but it just didn't feel grounded enough. The way that his character looked, it kind of felt video gamey at times. So that, I mean, and you know what? I can't really say too much about it because most superhero movies have really tough times with their villains for some reason. So, you know, it, like I said, it's not enough to really ruin the movie for me. Something that kind of bothered me a little bit, but there wasn't too much of a way around it, I don't think, was bringing Superman back to life. Now, I love that Superman is back because Superman is fantastic and I love him. However, with the not earned death that we got of him in BVS, which already bothered the heck out of me because that was not earned at all. But they had to fix it if they were going to bring Superman back. Now, I would have preferred if it would have been something like, you know, we saw something going on with his coffin at the end of BVS. I would have preferred if it was like some sort of self-healing thing that he was going through and we see him show up, or I don't know, something like otherworldly, like something Kryptonian or so, like just something else other than grave robbing. Like, that scene just felt so awkward. It felt so wrong for them to be unburying Superman. And it was just kind of a weird... They didn't really leave themselves anywhere to go with it, is the thing. It was kind of just like a quick means to an end, a quick fix so that they could bring him back. But they kind of missed out on an opportunity to really add depth to the story and kind of expand the universe in a way if they would have gone with something else, like pulled something from the history of the comics or anything. So that did bother me a little bit, but I mean, like I said, these are just kind of nitpicky things, the things that stood out to me the most that bothered me, but overall I really, really enjoyed this movie a lot. I went into it really wanting to like it and being really nervous that I wasn't going to. And as someone who loves Marvel movies so much, I want nothing more than to see DC succeed. I want it so badly for us to have an incredible Marvel universe and an incredible DC universe at the same time. Like, that is the dream right there. So the fact that we got Wonder Woman and it blew everything out of the water, and the fact that we now have a Justice League that is at least steering everything in the right direction really makes me hopeful about the future of the movies that are going to come out. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about the fact that we're not going to get any more Ben Affleck after this movie, which kind of makes me sad. I feel like they were kind of hinting at it a little bit in the movie itself when he was talking about how he's kind of hinting that he's old and he's not gonna... Diana said something like, "You're not gonna be able to do this forever," and he said, I can barely do this now. So I'm a little worried they're planting seeds to kind of gracefully get him out, which I mean is fine because there are plenty of amazing actors that can step in and take on another Batman. But I really like the chemistry that's being built between the Justice League cast that we have now. And so it would make me sad to see him walk away and to see them try to explain another Batman into it, but you know, whatever happens there happens, and they'll figure it out and it'll be good. But I mean, like I said, overall it was a really enjoyable movie. I would definitely watch it again. The end credit scenes made me really, really happy. That first one with Flash and Superman, it just put a smile on my face. It was just made me happy and it was great. But so I don't want to ramble on for too long, so we'll just kind of wrap it up here. I'd probably give this movie 3 out of 5 stars, 3.5 out of 5 stars, or somewhere around there. Just because it's something I would watch again. It's enjoyable, it's fun, it has its problems, but it's definitely not as problematic as I think people were assuming it was going to be. And so for that, I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with the result, and I think it's a good springboard to set up all of the individual movies we're going to be getting. I'm super excited for Aquaman. I'm super excited for Flash. Hopefully we get Flashpoint. Maybe both Flashes will show up. I would be super stoked if we got TV Flash in the movie with him for that. Hopefully, I'm hoping that we're going to get another Superman movie, because I love Superman so much, and I think Henry does a great job in the role. So I'm hoping we get another Superman movie. Obviously, we're getting the Batman movie with Matt Reeves. At least one. I think there's 3 that we're going to get for that. And then another Wonder Woman, obviously. And hopefully a Cyborg movie too. Because I really grew to love all of these characters in this movie a lot. And I had a good time. And it was really nice to leave the theater and feel like I was happy with where we're at, and that I'm hopeful going forward, and that things look like they're turning around, guys. Things look like they're going to be good. So what did you guys think of the movie? Please let me know what things you liked, what things you didn't like, what your expectations are for the future of this cinematic universe. Go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed your time here. And go ahead and check me out on all of the social medias. All of them. All the links are going to be down there. I did just join the Stardust app as Finally Tailored, where you can see short little reviews for me on movies. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about this, and I will see you next time.